Hello everyone! I just wanted to do a quick makeup tutorial for you today. It is on this look, very natural, fresh, fun, awake look. I think it's perfect for if you're feeling sick, helps you look awake and alive and happy. So this is a makeup look that I really like to wear when I'm sick. I kind of perfected it last time I was sick, and so I thought I would share it with all of you guys so maybe you guys can benefit from it as well if you haven't really figured out a good way to apply makeup when you're sick. Because I know when I'm sick I don't like to feel or look like I'm wearing a lot of makeup because I feel like I'm hiding it, but I think this is a really good sort of middle ground. It hides all of the things that you want to hide and it makes you look awake, and that is probably one of the most important things when you're feeling sick. So if you want to see this makeup look, just keep watching. So especially if you're sick and not just doing this as a sort of everyday no makeup, then you definitely want to make sure to moisturize your skin if it's a bit dry, since a lot of people's skin gets really dry. I'm not sick right now, and also my skin doesn't get dry when I'm sick, so usually I just put some extra moisturizer on my nose, and I'm actually going to use a foundation. You could use a BB cream if you only want a little bit of coverage, and that will also help to moisturize your skin. I'm going to use the Revlon Nearly Naked foundation because I like the way it feels on my skin and the way that I can't really feel that I'm wearing it, and I also like that it gives a little bit of coverage that helps to cover any splotchiness or redness, which I sometimes get when I'm sick. I'm just going to put my hair back so I don't get makeup in my hair. And now that I look like I have war paint on my face, I'm going to use my Real Techniques buffing brush just to buff that in. And if my skin's really angry, sometimes I'll add extra foundation just to the sort of apples of my cheeks, which stay really, really red under the foundation and are hard to cover up. So that's that, and I already look a lot more awake and put together. You're free to skip this if you don't have dry skin, if you don't have much to cover, and just move on to quick powder to keep you less shiny and more even. But I like to do a bit of coverage because I like to not look sick when I'm sick. Next I'm going to do the step I almost always forget. I'm going to use my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Circle Eraser because I don't usually get dark circles, but especially if you're sick, you're tired, you're not sleeping too well, get dark circles, or if you have some puffiness, and this just helps to sort of brighten up the area. So I'm just going to dab that on in a bit of a triangle, and I just pat that in with my finger. And don't forget to press a little bit of that just in the tear duct, which can get a little bit dark and discolored sometimes. So that is that. And I'm just going to set that with my pressed powder. Any pressed powder will do. My favorite is the Rimmel Stay Matte, which I'm out of right now. So I'm just going to use my Almay Clear Complexion pressed powder, which is supposed to have blemish clearing technology, which it doesn't. But it's not a bad powder for setting. And I just like to press that into the foundation instead of rubbing it over, as I feel A, it gives better coverage, and B, it doesn't lift the foundation underneath. Some people just like to set their T-zone, and that's fine if that's what you want to do, but I like to set my whole face, as my whole face tends to try to leave. Also, I think this powder is a little bit darker than the foundation. Not sure which one doesn't match my skin correctly, but if we cover it all, it doesn't matter. And I especially like to make sure to set underneath my eyes where my eyeliner likes to smudge. And so that's my skin. I look a bit healthier, if not a lot more awake, because I haven't got to my eyes yet. So the next step is eyebrows, and I think this is really important for pretty much anyone, because even if you don't want to put on any other makeup, doing your eyebrows will make you look a lot more put together and clean, awake, just sort of ready for the day. So I'm going to use my e.l.f. eyebrow kit in light with the e.l.f. small angled brush from the Studio line, and I'm just going to go in with the gel first. So that just sort of helps to shape and fill in, as you can see. If you don't have a brow gel or don't like brow gels, you can use a pencil, you can use powder, whatever you want. Just make sure to do it. And then once that's on, I just go in with the powder side to set. And as you can see, that just sort of deepens up the color and softens it down a little bit, if that makes any sense. So next we're going to move on to the eyes, which I think is sort of the most important aside from the brows. The brows help you look put together, but it's the eyes that really helps you make sure you look awake. So I'm just going to start with my Essence I Heart Stage eyeshadow base, and this one is just sort of a colored base. It's a little darker than my skin tone, but I like that it sort of covers up the little veins in my eyes. So it sort of has a concealer purpose as well. And for this look, I don't want to take it too much higher than my crease. And put that in. As you can see, it's not really much different from my eyes, and I just got it done with my crease, that's fine. I'm just going with my Naked Basics, which you've been seeing me use as a mirror. On my e.l.f. smudge brush, I'm going to take Walk of Shame. If you have a more yellowy skin tone, then I would use Foxy, but I am pinker, so I'm going to use Walk of Shame. This is just sort of a matte sort of skin tone color. So as you can see, this eye looks sort of brighter than that eye. It's kind of what I'm going for. So you could easily stop there, move on to mascara, eyeliner, whatever you want to do. But I'm going to do one more quick little step. I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. contour brush from the Studio line and the Naked 2 shade. Just a couple dabs because it is very pigmented. And starting at the outside corner, I'm just going to dab that into my crease. And then just blend. And for my eye shape, since I have a very deep crease, I take it a bit above the crease as well, so that I know that the color is going to show up a bit. So I just take that up to the bottom of my brow bone. So as I hope you can see on camera, this is just without the crease, this is with crease, and it just sort of gives a little bit of extra depth to the eye. But anyone who doesn't know anything about makeup isn't going to know that you're wearing makeup. So yeah, I really like that step. I'm just gonna do the other eye now. So that's that. If you wanted to deepen up the crease or the outer corner a little bit more, you could go in with Faint, which also looks really, really good. But I'm happy with this today. So I'm just going to leave it there and go in quickly with Venus. this sort of shimmery satin shade and the Naked 3 brush, the fluffy end. And I'm just going to swipe that under my brow bone. If you wanted to make it look even more like a no makeup sort of makeup, you could use Strange from the Naked 3 palette, which is just this sort of almost white matte shade. But I like to add a little pop of shimmer. Another option is from the Naked 1 palette is Virgin, which is just slightly less shimmery, probably closer to a satin than Venus, and it's a little bit more on the pink side. But I really like that I can do this entire look with one palette. I'm just going to add that in my inner corner. That's the eyeshadow done. I'm just going to go in with mascara right now. I would recommend not skipping this step, especially if you're doing this to look like you're not sick. Take an eyelash curler and curl your eyelashes. It will open up your eyes and make them look so much bigger and wider and more awake. Then I'm just going to take my Maybelline Rocket Volume Express Waterproof, and you definitely want waterproof if you're sick, unless you have like allergies or your eyes just don't get along with it. But if your eyes water, you probably want waterproof mascara. If you want, you can also do bottom lash mascara, but if I'm sick, I don't want to do that because I rub my eye a little bit. If they water a little bit, bottom mascara doesn't like to stay. Now, you can also skip this step. I'm going to line my waterline with black. You could also use a white or a nude, which can help to brighten your eyes a lot more. I just don't like the look on myself, so I'm going to go in with the black. One trick I would say, if your eyes tend to smudge, you definitely don't want them to do that while you're sick. So I like to sort of avoid the outer corner and just sort of stay in here. So these are basically the two looks you can acquire, with and without the liner. And then a tan liner will look really similar to this side since I don't have a specially pink waterline. And all these tips are optional, but this is extra optional. If you do have problems with your waterliner staying, one way to help make that stay is take an angled brush and go in with a matte black shade. Crave from the Naked Basics is a slightly brown black, but I like it for this. And then you just sort of press that into the black and try not to get too close to your eye. And that isn't perfect, but it does help to set. It also sort of darkens it up a little bit, as you can see. So I just set this size eyeliner as well. And I'm going to move my last two steps. I'm not going to use a blush or a bronzer because bronzer can make my skin look a little muddy, or I am pale, so I like to stay pale when I'm sick. I don't like to do too much work. And I don't like blush because I tend to flush fairly naturally, but you've probably seen me wiggling around over here while I'm talking with my hands. I'm going to go in with my Mineralized Skin Finish in Soft and Gentle, just with the large soft fan brush from Morphe. And a little bit of this goes a really long way, so just sort of dab it in like that, just sort of cover one side of the brush. And I just like to sweep it on really softly on both sides and then sort of blend it in. You can also connect it up to the brow bone, which looks really, really pretty. And I'm just gonna take the excess and wipe it down my nose, lips, and a little on my forehead. That doesn't do anything too visible, it just sort of brightens, lifts your cheekbones, it makes you look sort of glowy and awake. I'm just gonna take my hair down. And then the last step, you could use sort of a lip balm or a gloss, whatever is comfortable. I really like the Revlon lip butters. They're easy to wear, they're soft, they're comfortable. They kind of smell good, they don't really smell like anything. This one is just Strawberry Shortcake. It's a very neutral, well, not really neutral, it's quite bright, but it's very sort of muted compared to a lot of the lip colors I tend to wear. So yeah, as you can see, that's sort of bright and shiny, a little bit shimmery, but it again helps to wake up the face, makes me look bright and cheery. I wouldn't go for a nude or a purple or anything that sort of has a gray or blue tone to it. Like a bright pink blue might help to brighten you up, but sort of a dull nude could make you look a lot more dead, especially if your eyes are sort of droopy, you're tired, you're not looking too happy, your nose gets a little bit red throughout the day. A fun pink is gonna make you look a lot more awake and happy. So yeah, that's the finished look. I hope you like it. It's fairly neutral, maybe a little bit boring for some people, but I don't like to wear too much makeup when I'm sick, but I do want to look awake and happy, and I find that if you feel like you look good, you're going to feel better even if you're sick. So at least that's what I find with myself. So putting on a good face of makeup helps me to feel better, at least in one small way. So I just thought it'd be nice to share that with you. It's also just a really great sort of everyday look, very good. Sort of almost no makeup, sort of your face but better. It just sort of accentuates your features without covering them up in gold and glitter and shimmer, which is always fun, of course, but sometimes you just need to look sort of natural, professional, fresh, and I think this look really does that, and I really like it. So I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate everyone who subscribes. Also, please leave a comment below if you have any questions or suggestions or comments. I would love to hear from you guys. Also, all of my sort of stalking links, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, my blog will all be linked down below. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!